Hello everyone. So this is another video about growth. And first of all, I suggest you watch the videos about types of bone formation, growth curve and growth movements. They are relatively short videos but will help you better understand how growth works. And you can find the links to these videos down in the description. So today we will talk about the growth of the midface, or sometimes called the nasomaxillary complex. And this of course includes the maxilla, which is mainly the bone of interest in our talk today. The cranial base is divided into anterior, middle, and posterior cranial base. The nasomaxillary complex, which is this area, and the anterior cranial base are joined together through a group of sutures. And these sutures are actually positioned in a way that any growth would push the maxilla forwards and downwards. So, after birth, the maxilla is formed entirely by intramembranous bone formation, since there is no cartilage to be replaced. And the growth in the maxilla actually occurs in two ways. The first one is by bone deposition at the sutures that connect the maxilla to the cranial base, and these are the sutures that we just talked about. And the second method is surface remodeling. It's very important to note the difference between methods of bone formation, which means how the bone itself is formed, and the growth movements, which is how the bone moves and responds as a result of growth. So they are two different concepts. In general, the growth of the maxilla can be divided into two stages. The first stage is up to 6 years of age, and the second stage is after 6 years of age. And we will understand why it is staged this way. So in the first stage, the nasomaxillary complex is pushed by the cranial base, which we call secondary displacement. This is because as the cranial base grows forward, the maxilla grows in the same direction as the cranial base. After that, in the second stage, it mainly depends on the sutural growth to move the maxilla forward, which is kind of primary displacement, where the maxilla moves downwards and forwards, and in the same time, bone resorption at its anterior surface takes place. So actually, the bone remodeling is opposite to the movement of the bone itself. That's why it's said to be primary displacement. And this image illustrates this concept clearly. Here, the platform on wheels represents the maxilla, which is moving forward, but in the same time, resorption on the anterior surface takes place. Moving on, so you might ask why the first stage is actually up to 6 years of age. And this is related to the neural growth pattern. And let me clarify this part. So the push force that we have just talked about in the first stage is a result of the expanding brain. And remember that the brain growth follows the neural growth pattern. And if we take a look at the growth curve, we will find that the brain almost attains 90% of its size at age of 6. That's why after this age, the force becomes minimal. And as I always say that in orthodontics, we have to think in the 3 dimensions of space. So let's see how the midface grows in width, depth, and height. So let's start with the width. And the methods where the midface grows laterally includes displacement and drift. And displacement is actually dominant in the early stages. This is because in the early stages of growth, the skull is divided into 2 halves by several sutures and the mandibular symphysis. Then as a result of the brain growth and cranial base cartilage, they push the nasomaxillary complex, and increase in width occurs by displacement as well. And then after 7 years of age, the neural growth is almost completed. This means that the pushing force of the brain stops, and further growth will be by bone drift. Finally, the orbits, the nasal walls, and maxillary sinuses will grow laterally as well by bone deposition on the lateral walls and resorption on the medial surfaces. Now let's talk about the height. And the vertical growth of the midface results almost equally by displacement and drift movements. And we can divide the vertical growth of the midface into 3 main points. The first one is that at birth, the nasal floor is actually at the same level of the orbital floors. But later, there is resorption in the nasal floor, and deposition occurs at the palatal and the alveolar process sides. And this will cause the nasal floor to become at a lower level than the orbital floor. The second point is that the nasomaxillary complex during the first 7 years is pushed downward and forward by the anterior cranial base. Then there is also growth of the nasal cartilage that grows downwards as a result of the increase in the respiratory demand. Finally, we'll talk about the depth of the midface. As we said before, the nasolabial complex is joined with the cranial base through a group of sutures. Again, when these sutures grow, they push the midface downward and forward. And there is bone resorption on the anterior surface and the position posteriorly. Bone is also added to the posterior border of the maxilla in the tuberosity area. And this allows more space for the primary and then later for the permanent molar teeth to erupt. I know growth could be intimidating at first, but dividing its concepts into smaller parts could be helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in another one.